with it being 3 o'clock, and I happen to make it here on time today, so nobody can talk bad about me. We'll go ahead and call today the March 5th, 2024 meeting of the Greater Dayton RTA to order. Could all those who are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Stanford, could we have the roll call, please? Here.
Present.
Here.
Present.
Present.
Ms. Miller?
Present.
Mr. Rollins?
Present.
Mr. Wonderful?
Here.
And Mr. Williamson?
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Do have a quorum, so we can conduct regular business today. Greater Dayton RTA bylaws require that the board approve of today's board meeting agenda. The agenda was mailed in advance of the meeting today. Are there any changes to the agenda? No changes. I will declare the agenda approved. Approval of the February 6th, 2024 board meeting minutes. The meeting minutes have been provided to everyone. If anyone requests a reading of the minutes, or are there any changes or corrections to the minutes from anyone? Upon hearing none, no request for changes, we will declare that the meeting minutes are approved for February 6, 2024. We'll now move on to our committee reports. Ms. Matthew Stinson.
Good afternoon. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees held a meeting on February 20th, and as a result, the Finance Personnel Committee is recommending 3 action items for the board's consideration. Action item number 2, underground storage tank replacement project. The purpose of this procurement is to select a firm to partner with the Greater Dayton RTA for the replacement of underground storage tanks. This project involves the removal of 2 20,000-gallon diesel tanks and 1 2,000-gallon motor oil tank. The purchase and installation of 1 new 20,000-gallon diesel tank with 2 high-volume submersible pumps installed for redundancy and 1 2,000-gallon motor oil tank. An upgrade to the Veeder Root 450-plus tank monitoring system applies to 600 Longworth and 601 Longworth locations. This procurement supports our core values of safety and good stewardship of RTA's financial and environmental resources by ensuring that our facilities are well-maintained and environmentally responsible. Mr. Brown presented this action item at our meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Staff is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the Finance Personnel Committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a contract award to Reliable Construction Services for the replacement of the underground storage tanks in the amount of $1,384,140 plus a 15% contingency of $207,621 for any unforeseen cost, totaling $1,591,761.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that action item number 2, underground storage tank replacement project, be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Action item number 2 is approved.
Thank you very much. Action item number 3, window washing services. The purpose of this procurement is to select a qualified firm to partner with Greater Dayton RTA for window washing services at Right Stop Plaza, 600 Campus, and Transit Center locations. The contract is for 5 years, during which time the selected firm will be responsible for cleaning the inside and outside of the windows at all locations. This project is consistent with the RTA's core value of providing good stewardship by properly maintaining our facilities and ensuring the longevity of our capital resources. Mr. Brown presented this action item at our meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Staff is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time.
Second.
Gotta wait, she's gonna make the motion first.
Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the Finance Personnel Committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a contract award to Jack and Joe's Window Cleaning Incorporated, doing business as Squeegee Squad for window washing services at Right Stop Plaza, 600 Campus, and the Transit Centers for 5 years totaling $146,639, plus a 15% contingency for $21,996 to address any additional cleanings that may arise during the contract, for a total award of $168,635.
Now I'll second. If you would say squeegee squad again.
Nope, too easy. Action item number 3, window washing services, has been properly moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Action item number 3 is approved.
Thank you very much. Action item number 4, non-revenue vehicles. Greater Dayton RTA has a pool vehicle fleet that needs replacing due to age. This project has been delayed because we prioritize fleet replacements first. Vehicles being replaced include 5 2012 Dodge Durangos, 2 2014 Dodge Durangos, 2 2015 Dodge Durangos, 1 2015 Ford Focus, 1 2016 Dodge Durango, 1 2016 Ford Transit, 1 2007 Dodge Durango, 1 2020 Dodge Pickup, and this vehicle will be retained for other use. These pool vehicles are used for travel between buildings and hubs, contractor oversight, staff supervision, project management, local meetings, community events, and other transit-related purposes. In addition to the 14 replacements, we will be adding a pool vehicle to the fleet for a total of 15. This project supports RTA's core value of stewardship as we manage our resources. Mr. Rosinski presented this action item at our meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Bob is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the Finance and Personnel Committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a contract award to Montrose Ford for 15 Ford Explorer vehicles at $38,740 per vehicle for $581,100 plus a 10% contingency for additional vehicle options in the amount of $58,110 for a total award of $639,210. This contract will be funded with federal funds.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that action item number 4, non-revenue vehicles, be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
We have one abstention. Action item number 4 is approved.
Thank you very much. Other items to mention, the December 2023 financial report, as well as small purchases information, has been included in today's board package. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Matthew Stinson. Moving right along, going to Planning Committee, Mr. Wexler.
Thank you. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on February 20th, and the Planning Committee is recommending 2 action items for the board's consideration. Action item number 5, Internet Access Part 2. Mr. Prince explained that the purpose of this procurement is to award a sole source contract to Altafiber, formerly Cincinnati Bell, for the network connection between RTA 600 Longworth Street facility and Right Stop Plaza for a 3-year period. To support the organization's growing data needs, a more robust and reliable network connection is needed between Right Stop Plaza and 600 Longworth Street. The current connection is provided by a microwave antenna system prone to down/degraded performance based on weather and atmospheric changes. Altafiber was chosen as RTA's new internet provider from a prior competitive procurement selection. When running the new fiber to our facilities, the vendor, as standard practice, included additional pairs of fiber for future use. Using this existing infrastructure allows for turning on the service with no additional groundwork, trenching, penetrating the buildings, etc., to be done. The need for the new fiber connection was discovered after the original project was underway. Staff are available to answer any questions you may have. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the Planning Committee, I move to approve a contract award to Altafiber for Internet Access Part 2 at $2,210 per month for a 3-year period for $79,560. It is also recommended that the $97,680 awarded under small purchasing procedures be ratified for a grand total award amount of $177,240.
Second?
It's been properly moved and seconded that action item number 5, Internet Access Part 2, be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Action item number 5 is approved.
Thank you. Action item number 6, Aptian upgrade and software maintenance. Mr. Prince explained that RTA has utilized the Ross Enterprise accounting system software for nearly 35 years. Procurement, inventory, and accounting use the software daily. It includes general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, fixed assets, purchasing, and receiving. Major upgrades were performed on the system in 2007 and 2018 to 2020. Given the rising support costs of the current Aptian financial system, RTA plans to evaluate the feasibility of selecting an enterprise resource planning system to evaluate replacement options for the current HRIS and financial systems in use by RTA. This replacement plan will take approximately 2 years to accomplish. Meanwhile, an upgrade to the Aptian system is needed to bring the system and underlying infrastructure current, as the existing version is on an unsupported version of Windows and SQL. The software maintenance is also due to expire at the end of March and must be renewed. The cost of the upgrade will be paid with operating funds. The cost for maintenance will be funded with segregated funds. Staff is available to answer any questions. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the Planning Committee, I move to approve a contract award to Aptian, Inc. for the upgrade of the software in the estimated amount of $186,282 plus a 20% contingency in the amount of $37,256 and the maintenance for 1 year in the amount of $120,498 for a not-to-exceed total of $344,036.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that action item number 6, Aptian maintenance and upgrade, be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Action item number 6 is approved.
Thank you. In addition, at the meeting, Mr. Bob Brzezinski provided a summary document of recent activities going on in the Customer and Business Development Department. Mr. Brzezinski made a presentation on RTA revenues and provided comparative data and analysis regarding the possibility of future fare structure changes. In addition, it was announced that RTA won a first-place award in the 2024 American Public Transportation Association Ad Wheels Awards competition for communications and marketing. RTA's Caring for Our Community campaign won in the category of Best Marketing and Communications Educational Initiative. That concludes my update, and I'm available if there are any additional questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wexler. Before we move on to the Chief Executive Officer's report, I would like to reiterate that all of these action items are discussed in great detail at the committee level, the committee meetings. This is not something we're just getting today, because someone made that comment to me the other day that we just get these things and approve them, and that is by no means accurate. So I just want to reiterate that these things are discussed in great detail prior to the actual board meetings. That being said, we'll move on to the Chief Executive Officer's report. Mr. Brzezinski.
Thank you. So I was asked by some folks to give a quick update on our transit offerings to older adults. Sometimes they're called seniors, but I think the term older adult is starting to take. Is that correct, Nikki? Thank you. Okay. So just to remind everybody that we do offer a half price all day long on traveling with fixed routes that is above and beyond the federal requirements, and that paratransit eligible customers ride fixed route for free, which is also above and beyond the federal requirements. We also offer door-to-door service to customers who are unable to utilize fixed route services due to cognitive or physical disabilities, and this does meet the federal requirements. And 60% of our paratransit customers are over the age of 65, so they are older adults in the majority of this group. Our service reps are trained in offering information and helping people with questions, and they can refer them to our website. Our website also talks about the 5310 program, which is a program we instituted several years ago to go above and beyond the requirements of FTA. So the 5310 program, what has that been doing? Well, it serves all of Montgomery County 7 days a week. We offer $5 grocery trips to pharmacy, medical appointments, etc., and we will soon expand that to include the weekends. We started the Take Your Friend Free program, and we've extended that through all of 2024. We supported the Homeful Mobile Grocery when they were running that, which we ran shuttles to get folks to the mobile grocery at its various locations. And that became successful for them, and that led them to do another project, which you'll see in a second. So coming this fall, there'll be a healthy living center in West Dayton. More in a minute on that. We've started trips to the Gym City Market to try to support that near downtown business. So we're working with a couple of the senior organizations, and they're planning group trips, and we're providing the transportation. There's been some other outings. The Cottages of Clayton have used us, and we continue to look to partner with others to do trips. We've expanded countywide paratransit trips, so they're no longer restricted to the FTA minimum guidelines, which has been successful, and we do same-day trips based on availability. So during 2023, we did 1,353 $5 5310 trips, 8,868 expanded zone paratransit trips, and 9,132 same-day paratransit trips. All this above and beyond what we're required to do by federal law. So I met with the folks at Homeful several weeks ago, and we're talking about how we can partner with them with their new facility in West Dayton. And if you haven't seen this, it's on Gettysburg. It's going to be a full-service grocery, pharmacy, doctor's office, and a food hall, which I didn't know what one of those was. I thought it was going to be like a food court, but that's not true. So at the top is a rendering of their grocery. Going across the bottom from left to right is the Kettering Medical Center site, Zeke's Pharmacy, and the food hall. And what the food hall is it's a way they can collect produce and other items from all kinds of local farmers and merchants and then distribute them in mass to other resellers. So it's kind of like a business incubator type thing, which I think will be pretty cool. So we're looking to partner with them to do direct trips from certain senior centers using our 5310 program, as well as perhaps having our new West Dayton circulator, which is planned to run down Gettysburg, go onto their property. So we have some meetings scheduled with them to work out details. This is not scheduled to open until later this year, but I thought you could like a heads up. And that's all I have for the CEO report, sir.
Thank you, kind sir. Moving right along on the agenda, is there any old business?
There is. We'd like to address the public comments from the previous meeting. So a gentleman here, George, came and asked if we had responded to his letter, and we could not find a letter, but he did provide Mr. Lumpkin with this summary sheet, which we believe he thinks was his letter. We're not 100% sure, but it had 9 points, and I responded back in an email. Many of his points dealt with amenities, and we've heard a lot about amenities recently, so I wanted to address some of the amenities concerns we've heard. So I'm going to start with shelters. So RTA has 2,500 bus stops throughout Montgomery County, and these stops are not owned by RTA, and in most cases are just simply in the public right of way. Okay? So for shelters, we have shelters at about 250 of our most used stops. The average shelter does cost between $12,000 and $18,000 to purchase and install. FTA is not currently funding them unless a costly and time-consuming environmental review is done on each site. They consider this a construction project. It's a technicality that they switched the rules on about 4 years ago, where they claim they didn't switch the rules, they're just enforcing them. And I've talked about this before with you guys. So that really prevents us from using FTA funds for this. In most cases, we would also have to navigate local building codes, ordinances, regulations, and the desire of adjacent property owners, okay? At an average cost of $15,000 per stop, it would cost RTA and the taxpayers at least $33.8 million to replace a shelter at every bus stop, not including the additional cost of each environmental review. There'd also be ongoing maintenance and insurance costs. So this is why we don't have shelters at every location and why we probably never will be able to. So let's talk about, I've heard from other people, well, why not just you have a bench everywhere? You know, we're sitting in seats right now, right? But that's also kind of complicated for the same reasons. But we do have over 300 benches at bus stops, and these are slightly easier, so we're doing this when we can. But a heavy-duty bench and the required concrete pad average about $3,500 per stop. And FTA, of course, says this is construction, mainly because of the concrete pad, and requires the full review. So when we do these benches, we're doing these on our own dime. So if we were to do a bench at every stop, we'd have a projected cost of $7.8 million, plus the cost of environmental review and the ongoing maintenance and insurance. So what is RTA doing for amenities? So we are working with FTA on trying to relax their rules on the full environmental review, because we do not believe these are construction projects. So this has been going on for about 2.5 years now, and there's some small movement, but the federal government moves really slow because these regulations are intertwined with lots of different federal agencies, these environmental reviews. So there's small progress. If we do get a weather emergency alert, I'll just say that we will escort people to the basement, and if you're not able to use the stairs, we will get you down the elevator. So just don't worry about that. So we continue to also work with local jurisdictions to assist them if they desire to install amenities within their boundaries, because if they're doing the project, we don't have to go through all these reviews, right? So it makes it easier. And we have worked with Riverside, Huber Heights, Centerville, Dayton, others over the years to do that, and we'll continue to do that. So amenities are a tough thing, but we continue to try to crack the nut. So Mr. Kevin Frazier also commented on their retired senior Easy Ride services, the bus drivers coming out of training being placed on the extra board, and having his calls directed to the labor officer. So I'll address all three of these. The retired senior Easy Ride route serves select residential locations of older adults and were among our lowest used routes. So unfortunately, we have no intention at this time to bring those back. Very low priority. But we will be expanding the 5310 program, which offers services countywide and is available to all adults as our resources allow. Okay? The upcoming May service change is projected to have 174 fixed route runs versus the 157 today, as we work to introduce the West Connector route, which is planned to connect the northwest, west, and south hubs. So that'll replace a couple of the routes that we retired several years ago. Okay? The PIC will bring the average driver daily rates down to just under 8.6. Today it's 9.1, and it was over 10 last year, further improving work-life balance for the drivers. We will continue to maintain the extra board to handle daily absences and summer vacations. In the fall, we hope to have service changes that will focus mainly on increasing services on our most heavily traveled routes, which may require additional bus operators. And finally, I'll just remind Mr. Frazier that it's the job of our Chief Labor Officer to handle all labor issues, and he will continue to do so with both AFSCME and the ATU. That's all the old business I have, sir.
Thank you, sir. Is there any new business?
I have none, sir.
Now we will move on to public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board must speak on their own behalf. After you are recognized to speak, you must come to the lectern if you're able. If not, we'll bring you a microphone. It'll be brought to you. You must first state your name and address. After doing so, you have 3 minutes to make your comments. A yellow light will come on, and you will have 30 seconds remaining, and Ms. Garner will say 30 seconds. When your 3 minutes are up, the red light will come on, and Ms. Garner will say, stop. At that time, you must stop talking and leave the lectern or surrender the microphone. After comments are made, and I will go on and say something that hopefully will make you all smile. See, y'all gotta keep those same smiles you had at the beginning. Don't turn mean now when it's time to go. Oh, no frowns now. We better start with this. We were all friends early on, so we'll start with this first one. Jason Riley.
You said you'd tell me when the lights go, because I won't be able to.
Yeah, he won't.
Yes, yes, we will.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Riley, Colonel, United States Army, retired. I'm a resident of Washington Township, a disabled veteran, member of the Greater Dayton Regional Transit Authority's Customer Advocacy Group, and a user of both your fixed and paratransit services. I'm here today to ask for the board's assistance in the following 2 issues. One of them is amenities. Would ask you to relook the amenity policy. Based off the CEO's report today, I'm trying to figure out whether it's money's the limiting factor, or we have just some arbitrary numbers put in place on why concrete pads, a bench at a minimum, or seating is what I'm going to recommend, is put in place. So right now, the policy from 1 August of 2017 says you need 20 boardings of passengers a day for a concrete pad or a bench, 40 or more for a shelter. The CEO put up the numbers based off the infrastructure. 78% of the 2,400, 2,500 bus stops have nothing but a sign on a post. The closest one to me is on a light pole out in the middle of a swath of grass. And in today's weather, would you want to be standing out there in it 40 minutes waiting for a bus? Well, I appreciate the need for metrics to help inform decisions. Metrics often ignore individual stories and impacts on those that rely on RTA to get to work appointments and to remain socially active. My recommendations are for RTA to conduct surveys and publish the results of those surveys, engage and advocate on behalf of your riders with local businesses and community partners to identify which bus stops would benefit the most from improvements. You may be surprised to see new and/or increased ridership with the addition of accessible concrete pads and seating. Community partners and businesses could help sponsor these stops, reducing or eliminating costs to RTA. To change the amenity category name from the benches to seating. Instead of only benches, if there's concern about someone sleeping on the bench, because I've heard that before, there are companies that make individual, no kidding, seats that attach to the pole. And I can provide those in a later email of those companies. Right now, riders are putting old lawn chairs and their old dining room chairs at your stops because there's nowhere to sit.
30 seconds.
The second is the GPS system on your paratransit buses. It is atrocious. Doesn't find the right home. The bus stop, it marks it on the wrong side of the street, so your drivers have to turn around. It's costing you money, time, and impacting the rider experience. They're using their own GPSs to find their riders. And if you don't know this and you haven't heard this, then I question what information is coming up from the customer advocacy group. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Next is this Tanika Thompson? All right. As long as she's smiling when she get up there.
I'm smiling.
I doubt that one.
Okay.
I'll take that bit. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Tanika Thompson, 2467 Thornton Drive. I'm sorry. I'm currently the financial secretary at Local 1385, encompassing 23 years of service with RTA. Over the past few months, RTA has facilitated roundtable talks on ways to improve RTA. This would be great if RTA was truly up for the charge at hand, strategizing and putting in the work to make actual change. This is not a hard task. First, build morale. Stop dividing and pitting employees against each other. Support your employees instead of setting them up for failure. On 2 occasions, several members had gone to management in regards to Route 11 and Route 43, a safety issue that would cause an accident or possible injury, but management did nothing. Both issues resulted in an accident that could have been avoided, and on top of that, both drivers were charged with accidents. Someone could have gotten hurt. But this is the new RTA way. Provide no support and make them file grievances for everything. Another way of wasting taxpayer dollars. After the accident on Route 11, 2 managers came out to assess the area and decided to implement a reroute, exactly what the driver suggested prior to the accident. On Route 43, nothing has been done. I guess they are still assessing the area. Maybe someone has to get hurt before anything else is done. All RTA needs to do is stand by their core value and mission statements unless that is a thing of the past. It's a shame when one can put their life on the line and be treated with such disregard. I've been assaulted twice and called out of my name more times than I can recall. Yet I climb back on the bus and give outstanding customer service. All that I have endured with RTA has been so easily dismissed by our CEO. Our tenure means nothing to him. He makes zesty statements on how sorry he is that our seniority has no value. A CEO that believes in retaliation if you don't do what he desires or you choose to stand up for yourself. We just want to be treated fair and respected. Nothing more, nothing less. Remember, being the head is one thing, but without the heart, you are nothing. ATU is the heart of RTA, and we move this city.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Next comment is Kelly Moon.
Hello, my name is Kelly Moon. My address is 260 Fieldstone Drive, Trotwood, Ohio. I've been an operator for over 20 years. Today I feel the need to talk about morale from an employee's point of view. Morale is at an all-time low. Some of the issues making morale so low are as follows: no longer having holiday picks, less runs with weekends off, feeling like the company doesn't care about its employees, having your seniority no longer hold its value, being made to feel as if your safety doesn't matter, all the outsourcing and maintenance, hearing the average daily run for the June pick being reduced to 8.5 hours. We're taking blow after blow after blow. RTA has employees that have stuck with them through snowstorms, power outages, tornadoes, several CEOs, and the pandemic. Not once did we let this company down. We made sure RTA was able to put some form of service on the road. If you're trying to build morale and retain people, you have to learn to treat people the way you would want to be treated and show them that their concerns and issues are being heard and acted upon.
Thank you, Ms. Moon. Next comments are from Michael Artkamp.
I'm Mike Artkamp. I live at 870 Bellows Drive, New Carlisle, Ohio. Been a maintenance employee for 30 years at Greater Dayton, RTA. I just got a couple concerns here. One is, I do heating and air conditioning on the buses, and they're going to move our shop to the 601 building. They're trying to make a shop out of a bus barn. So we just asked to have toolbox cages so we could secure our investment that we have. Actually, we only have an 8-hour shift out of a 24-hour day. We have had issues in the past with both the big doors staying stuck open or whatever for a couple days at a time. So in the initial blueprint of the project, there was going to be a toolbox cage. Then we heard it's going to be an equipment cage to protect RTA's investments, like the machines and what have you. It seems funny to me that they have a cage for the hostlers so they can store their mop buckets and supplies on their carts in the same building, but we can't get a cage to secure our investment, our tools that we make a living with. And then the only thing I don't quite understand is that they moved the complete trolley fleet over into that building. And to me, if you put the whole fleet over in that building, I would think that you'd move the trolley shop over in that building. But they chose to move the AC shop. We do heating on the diesel buses, so it's going to be back and forth, back and forth. And to me, it's just didn't make sense of all the years that I've been there. And my only other second concern was the line crew not having enough people to perform their duty safely. Right now, they pull people out of other shops. Some of them have had a little bit of training to help assist the line crew on certain emergency situations. And most of the time, none of them have any training at it. I asked that they maybe get some more training with. Here's the key thing. We've had 12 people in that shop. We're down to 6. So I would just hope we can maybe hire 6 more people and get things back to where they was. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Artkamp. Next comments are from King Robert.
Hello, I'm Robert King. I live at 10 Mario Trotwood, Ohio. And I'm here to talk about safety, mainly the doors that was supposed to be put on RTA buses. It was just a plain oversight, not from the company and not from the employees. They put out surveys about the buses. It was 3 different type of memos, and they wanted to know which ones we like best. The drivers didn't care. All we wanted was protection. It didn't matter if it was an automatic window on it or if it was a roll-down window. We just wanted a door. The company didn't get enough feedback from the surveys they put out, so they watched the whole program. If they reallocate the surveys, I'll assure you they'll have feedback from every employee.
Thank you, Mr. King. Next, we have Scott Campbell.
Is that microphone on? Doesn't seem like it.
What, that one or
That one. Not really? I turned up. Does he, the other
Good
guy?
afternoon. My name is Scott Campbell. My address is 3230 Boxwood Drive. I've been an ATU member and an employee for over 31 and a half years. I currently work in the line shop for almost 14 and a half years. I currently have Wednesday and Thursday off. Wednesday, that's part of the work balance, life balance. I'm guessing. Apparently, management's trying to make me retire. The director of maintenance has asked me on numerous occasions when I'm going to retire. Over the last 2+ years, our shop has been under attack. We have currently only have 6 people in our shop, left out of 12. 3 on first, 3 on second. We're so broke up, we can't even provide general maintenance. We have to, most of the days we have just one. Some days we have two, some days we have none to work on the lines, nothing. Where was I at? But they gave Capital Electric a contract of $25 million for a 5-year contract. And now the taxpayers are basically paying twice for things. All the equipment that RTA owns, all the line equipment, is probably worth well over $1 million. The 2 line trucks alone that sit in the garage most of the time were $600,000 between the 2. Now, RTA also, and the taxpayers, pay Capital Electric for using their equipment. The contract states basically that if they use a bucket truck or they use whatever piece of equipment, they charge RTA for that and prevailing wage for their employees. But they can't even give us basic work to do. As far as the Route 5 north and south, we helped install the lines going up the hill on Irving, Far Hills to Patterson.
30 seconds.
Brand new wire. Hardly had any passes on it. They just tear it down, throw it in the trash. They've neglected the Oakwood area so bad that the people in Oakwood are tired of it. No updates in the poles, no updates in the lines. They just let it go. They don't even care. The north end of 5, we rebuilt a large section of that, and they tore down a large section from the tornado. So now it sits vacant, not even using it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Next, Mr. Frazier.
Good evening, Board. My name is Kevin Frazier. I reside at 555 Recess Drive, Dayton, Ohio. I'm here to talk about a serious concern that has come before me, and it's called direct dealing. Last Friday, I was given a written statement from one of my stewards that was given to him from one of my members that works in the maintenance department. What you should now have in front of you is a copy of the statement that clearly shows a one-on-one meeting that Bob Brzezinski wanted to be kept a secret. After reading it, I was in disbelief, and I'm dead serious. I was in disbelief. That document that I handed to you all, and also CEO Brzezinski, he passed it to the Labor Relations Officer and said, don't mean nothing. Is this the attitude? Is this the mentality that we are now carrying in RTA? Shocking. From the actions that was done, Brzezinski was doing, what it was doing is causing direct dealing. From his actions, I now have a member that is seriously concerned about the future of his employment. Please read that document, okay, his words. Seriously concerned about his employment. And just let me address the comment that Bob makes about the union giving him a hard time about approving it because Kevin would want something in return. Well, Kevin is going to want something in return. And what he will want is to know that his members and your employees will be able to do the work because the plan sounds pretty good, Bob. It actually sounds pretty good. But it would be horrible, once again, to see that work contracted out without the employees at RTA eating before those outside. And that just seems to be the norm. Just to enlighten you on something else, I've been doing this for, like I said, a long time. And just today at our board meeting, I had to show my board members the number of arbitrations that I'm faced to take to arbitration. And believe me, we're going. You're not the richest game on the planet. ATU Local 13.5 isn't, but guess what? ATU International is. We're not broke, and we're far from being broke. But it's so crazy to me to know that some of the issues that I'm being faced to take to arbitration are things that I have dealt with in the past that would have been not even talked about. They would have been resolved. Something is telling me, and I will bet a much salary, that These directors have been told to have us take everything to arbitration. This is ridiculous. It really is. We're not here to fight with this company. We're not. We're not a proactive union. We're a reactive union. So when you see us here today, it's not because we want to be here. It's because we have to. Please start to pay attention to what's going on in this house. I do not need y'all to fight my battles, but what I would hope and pray is that y'all would stand and protect this place, because it starts with this public, then it's you, and then it's us. I have no problem with that. So let's try to make this better, not worse. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. Next comments, Regina Long.
Hi, my name is Regina Long, and I'm let me give you my address. I live at 3506 Wilmar Circle, Dayton, Ohio. I come before you today to ask for y'all to care about y'all's elderly. For example, on our new buses, the visually impaired people, if I had 2 on my bus, the second person has to go through the aisle and sit in the back of the bus when they're used to be sitting up front. And then also on our Greyhawks, they're terrible. Even using our own GPSs, it gets us where we're supposed to go on our own GPSs, but the Greyhawks that we got is really terrible. People are being left at bus stops. They've been left at stores because we get on our Greyhawks, we're over, there's too many people at one time for us to be trying to pick them up, and we don't get there in a certain amount of time. These people are left behind, and that's wrong. And then the new benches on the new buses that we got, they got the lift bench in the front of the bus. So the driver, we have to take the lift bench either down the stairs or over the customer's head to the back of the bus. And that's a safety hazard. We could hit them in the head going through the aisles with that lift bench. So I'm asking if y'all can modify that. And let's see, what else? I think I discussed. And also, if y'all can find in y'all's heart to get Project Mobility makes the lowest pay at RTA. But we do the most work because, and all of us care about our customers. So if y'all can find in y'all heart and give us a raise and not just think about the big bus and think about the Project Mobility, because we do care about our customers.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Next comment, Sierra Owens.
Hello, my name is Sierra Owens, and my address is 539 Beckman Street. Louder. My name is Sierra Owens, and my address is 539 Beckman Street in Dayton, Ohio. I was just kind of bringing up what Brzezinski kind of shared a little bit about Gym City Market and maybe your 5310 plan. I don't really know much about. I'm just here as a citizen of Dayton, and I know that a lot of work and a lot of hard efforts has been put into West 3rd, including the bridge being fixed and the new infrastructures that we have there with new businesses that are mostly minority owned that, to my knowledge, are not included in the right flyer free shuttle routes. I've been told by the people of West 3rd this, and I've been told by Gym City Market themselves that they are also not included into that. So I'm just coming as a concerned citizen to help with businesses that we have put a lot of time and effort into, that they also get seen in these free access ways that RTA has, including RTA being part of the solution to our food desert, which brings in the Gym City Market route. As far as what one of these folks had said about potentially partnering with some form of sponsorships. For a shelter, I know that Gym City Market and their ties to Hollywood and Harvard and whatnot could probably be one of the first programs that you could get to maybe start with a sponsorship to be able to get a shelter made and then be able to create the route in order to get the people that need access to food there by the free shuttle bus that is currently, coming down that thoroughfare from UD and into the Oregon and downtown districts, of which I don't know, growing up in the Vandalia area, most people are not afraid to come to Oregon districts, but they are afraid to come to West 3rd and anything that's over the Peace Bridge on Salem. And so I think maybe as the public transit here in this community that, and myself, can work on a plan in order to kind of change that and be able to bring money to those parts of the communities that also need it by using this public transit as a way to create a solution for our community. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Owens. Next comments are from Denise Famera. Did I say that correct?
Good afternoon. My name is Denise Famera. I live at 8648 Adams Road, way out in the country of Huber Heights, Ohio. I come today as you see a lot of frustration, and I've been here 37 years, and I have to say how proud I am to have made a career here. But over time, I've also seen a lot of deterioration in a lot of ways. I hope that we can look towards the future and possibly set aside some funding to help resolve some of our internal issues, whether it's training that's we might need more of, employee concerns, raises, whatever. One thing I do find that I was very proud of being a part of years back when I started, we seemed to make an investment in our employees. Our training was 11 weeks long, then it became 8, now we're down to maybe 3 if we're lucky. It's done nothing, not just training, but internally created an environment of a lot of frustration and chaos. People feel very devalued here. I have a lot to bring to the table. I can remember the time when Minnie Johnson was the CEO at the time, and whatever, but one thing that always made me proud of being here was the value she brought to her employees. She made it clear that the wheels on the bus, we moved the city, as we said, and she valued that. No matter where she went, wherever she presented, I can remember being asked to go with her one time when she was receiving an award for the NAACP. And instead of her taking all the pride that she was getting her reward, she made it a point to make myself and the other one stand out because that's what she wanted. She wanted Joe Public and everybody else that was paying for the system to know that she had the best team working for her, no matter what position they held, bus driver, bus washer, maintenance, it doesn't matter who they were, but it was their employees that made the buses run and served the community. I hope that we can possibly reiterate bringing back the rodeo. I know it's been a long time, but we had done that before, and what I saw that bring to the table was people got encouraged to be the best that they could be, and they took pride in what they did, and they got rewarded for those efforts, whether it was on the absentee level, the dress code level, the whatever level we could bring. I hope that we can make an investment into a brighter future for all of us. I'm very proud of my accomplishments here. I hope to be on your next billboard. 36 years of those are safe driving. But I can guarantee you that investment was made when I got here at the front door, and they trained me until I couldn't be trained anymore, and then I became a trainer, and I'm very proud to say that that investment has led me to that 36 years of safe driving. I've got a lot to be a proud person here, and I hope to be able to work towards sharing that with our new people and stop some of that revolving door and maybe set aside some funds to make some of that happen. Thank you.
Appreciate your years of service and training.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Famera. Next thing is, I think this is Samantha Clamon. Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm Samantha Kawan. Thanks for having me. Address 1221 Brookview Avenue, Dayton, Ohio. I'm here as a community organizer with the marginalized community of the city of Dayton for many years. And while I appreciate the program that was just mentioned regarding the elderly and disabled communities, I would just kind of want to follow Ms. Owens' issues with the food desert in the city of Dayton and the access. So two things, food desert is availability of food and transportation to the available food. And so that's why we're coming to RTA. The Blue Flyer shuttle, I read an article that a lot of the city was shocked and proud of the popularization of the Blue Shuttle that goes up and down Brown and to the Oregon District and how useful it was. That is great, but if we could use that momentum to try to get people to Gem City Market or other grocery stores in the area to support that community. While Gem City is not my personal favorite answer, as well as a lot of the communities, not their personal favorite answer to the food desert, it's here, it's what we have to work with. My next suggestion is there are many programs in a lot of the other cities in the country that have similar to the plan with the elderly, where you show your SNAP card and you get discounted fares, or there's a few days a week that are free fares for the SNAP program in order to get this 27.5% living in poverty in the city of Dayton to the grocery stores and the food that they need. I'll share a quick story. About a year ago, I had a young gentleman by the Moraine Walmart walk up to me and ask for change for the bus fare. I soon found out he was a 15-year-old, and I, being a safe and able person, offered to take this gentleman home if he felt comfortable. He did, and informed me that he needed to go pick up his bags across the street. So I drove him across the street. This gentleman, who was 15, had 20 to 25 bags of groceries that he was going to try to get on the bus.
30 seconds.
To bring back to his family. He didn't have fare. So I helped him with his groceries back to the Soda Bass community in Dayton, where he brought his food back to his family. That situation is just one of everyday conversations if you were to speak with the marginalized community. Gem City Market is one answer, but Kroger on Wayne is struggling, and if we lose that grocery store, that is another addition to our food desert community. But thank you for speaking. I hope to see you guys more in the future at these board meetings to bring up proposed plans and petitions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next comments will come from Derek Martin.
Good afternoon. My name is Derek Martin, 825 Neal Avenue. First, I want to say something. You might want to adjust the mics, because it was very difficult for me to hear a lot of you when you were talking. So I wasn't sure you were trying to hide what you were saying, but it was very hard. I was struggling hearing. And you were talking about some things that I think I'm going to address or might have said. So if the mics can come up a little bit so we can hear what you're saying, so that we won't be left out because it might answer some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. I provided a letter. I think I gave it to the young lady here. I want to give this other letter, if I may approach it.
That's fine.
If I may approach, I'm going to give you this letter. I don't want to read this letter. I'm going to just highlight the points I opened to you because it's a long letter. But you can see what I'm addressing. I'm going to cover that letter there. I've been riding the bus for maybe almost 30-plus years. 30-plus years, an avid rider of the RTA bus. And I have had some ups and downs with the RTA bus. But overall, it's been a wonderful service, and I think you guys are on a wonderful direction, and I think that this new board doing a wonderful job in trying to help address some of the issues that we experience. And I know it's been difficult, and I know it's a great challenge being board members and trying to run a transit system. So I want to say that at first. My hat's off, and thank you for what you're doing. moving forward to why I'm here, the people you hire right now, how I want to say this, are questionable. From management to drivers. I think you're filling these driver positions because you're in a deficit, and sure, you're taking able bodies who qualify, but I think they need to be vetted a little bit better, or either training. Step them up. I heard this lady say something about the rodeo. We got to step them up. Their attitudes, their personalities, it lacks customer friendly. Riding the bus, I think I talked to this gentleman here. It should be I remember when I was younger, it should be an experience. A wonderful experience. Remember when I was younger. I used to say, can I ride the bus? Can I ride the bus? Moving on. Really quickly, and I think I gave him the wrong one. I'm sorry, sir. Gave you the wrong one. These are the issues, and I'm just going to highlight them because I'm running out of time. The heating system in the bays, they was inadequate. They didn't work. I'm going to skip because I don't have time now. The heating systems was down for quite a bit. They were very inadequate. When they were down, we should have been able to go into the hub and wait, but they didn't let us into the hub. Sometimes they kept us out of the hub. When it's 32 degrees or below, that hub should open up as a warming system, as a courtesy to the citizens of Dayton. It should have been open. I'm going to give this because I don't have no time. I'm going to leave this, and you can highlight what I was going to talk about. Thank you again for your time.
All right, thank you, sir. The next one is from, and I'm sorry, I can't. Is this Martin? Who has not gotten a chance to speak today? If you put in, I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't see what it says, so my apologies.
Okay, now we're going to get to the real nitty gritty of what RTA is to be.
Name. First,
Food desert.
first, can we get your name and address? Thank you.
I live at 5140 Altram Road. Your name? My name is Marion C. Perry. I live in a food desert. What happened is January, I think, of 2022, a lovely gentleman came in, and I can't remember his shoes, but I am a member of NHAT. I attend the meetings that they have for Jefferson Township. It's bad enough we are an area that at one time was raised and geared to black vets. Then what happened is there was a store and a discotheque. Most people can tell you about it. It's called Spunky's. It was torn down. That grocery store was ran by Ren's Market in the Southwest Center. I have ridden RTA since 1982 when I came back to Dayton, Ohio. The day they said, that gentleman said, well, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is, you will no longer have a bus to get around. Period. Now, I am also a senior. I could stand, but what you don't understand is not every senior is blessed to have a computer, a tablet, or a smartphone. Some seniors don't even have family. I'm one of them. I have relatives, but they're working. I have to depend on senior places to help me get around. The only time I depend on RTA is when I'm going to pay bills. One in particular is I take it downtown and I give them cash. But as far as food, there is none in my area. You want to do surveys? Ask all the people. Don't gear it to the younger people. Give it to me. Give it to everybody who is, let's see, 65.
30 seconds.
And have somebody to take them to the store. I have to depend on senior places to take me. The major thing I want to know is this. When that humble grocery store opens, somebody like me that doesn't have anybody, will I be able to get to a store instead of going miles away to Kroger's or beg and plead my neighbors to take me? Will I have a way to get to a darn store? And plus that, I am also, why I have to get to a store? Let me show you something. There are a lot of seniors that beg. We need food. We need to eat because I use insulin. If I don't use the insulin and the food takes up the insulin, you're killing us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perry. That concludes our public comments for today. Thank everyone for their comments, and thank all of you who have served the RTA and your continued service. That is appreciated. I don't want that to go unsaid by myself as chair of this board. Now move on to our board member comments or announcements, and we will start down with Ms. Miller.
I have no comments, thank you.
My only comment is a follow-up to Ms. Famara's comments. I was claims counsel here 30-some years ago and participated in the bus rodeos. I was a judge. I'd love to see those come back. And maybe that's a bridge. I'm looking at Mr. Frazier right here to get his members interested. And if that's a morale booster, I, for one, would be all for it. And I volunteer again my judging abilities. So. That's all.
No comments.
No comments.
Oh, I just want to, because he won't do it, I want to, on behalf of the board, congratulate Tom Weckesser, who received the University of Dayton Lackner Award in February. This is the highest honor recognizing UD faculty and staff who embody the charism, values, and principles of the Marianist founders and sponsors of the university. He was only one of 2 people to receive this award, and I found out about it on a humble, because he won't tell anybody, and I put it on full blast on social media because I think he deserved it, and I just wanted to publicly say that today.
No hiding at the board meetings, Tom.
Thank you. Congratulations, Tom. Just a quick reminder to everyone, although the news media is going crazy today about Super Tuesday, Ohio Super Tuesdays in 2 weeks.
That's right.
And we have a lot of issues, both partisan and nonpartisan out there, so please make sure you get out to vote. And RTA is doing its part in it. If you've checked your Facebook page, correct me if I'm wrong, about free rides that day to get to the polls. So get out and make your voice heard. Thank you.
Amen.
We don't have time for all the comments I have. But I do want to say that personally, I want our employees to know that you are valued. I'm not for sure of why comments are made or things happen that make you feel unvalued. Those of us that have been in management for a long time in other fields, in other areas, know that you're only as good as the people that work under you, okay? So it's important that we both, management and union and whoever else is involved, realize that it takes working together. And to do things that bombard each other does not work. So we have got to try to work together, and I know of instances on both sides where things have tried to be done and they weren't accepted. So only thing I can say is that You need to work together to make things happen. And sometimes it's getting off of what you feel is, I've got to have, and realize that you're supposed to be doing what's best for the community as well as for the agency. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about some of the comments made, especially by the employees. I think it's essential when an organization like RTA, they have not got where they're at without management and labor working together. And it's extremely important today that we get this on the right track. If we have to go to the State Employee Relations Board, they will come in and be a neutral party and put on seminars about labor management relations and try to get this smoothed out so that we can have both sides. We're never going to agree on everything. That's just human nature. But we have to get this working together so that one side doesn't feel like the other side is taking advantage. So at some point, I'd like to try to talk to both sides here, and let's get this set up. Let's try to get ironed out some of these issues so that everybody is, I'm not going to say always happy, because that ain't going to happen, but at least everybody can work together, and the hard feelings are put out the door. Let's work together, make RTA even better than it ever has been. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone's comments. At this time, is there a request for an executive session?
I hereby request an executive session for the purpose of discussing a personnel matter.
Okay, we have a request for executive session. Is there a second to that motion so that we may call for a vote?
I second.
All right, it's been properly moved and second that we convene into executive session. Could we have the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Ms. White?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Ms. Matthews Simpson?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Mullins?
Yes.
Mr. Wackister?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Okay, we will now convene into executive session. I would like it to be known that we will not conduct any official business upon reconvening out of executive session. We do appreciate everybody's comments and coming in today.